Hello and welcome to A-Level Math. This is the second video in the series Parabola. In the first video, we covered the four types of parabola with vertex all at the origin. If you haven't seen the video, please click on the I button above because that video is a prerequisite to understand this video. So make sure that you understand that video properly. In this video, we'll be taking up the parabolas that can have their vertex anywhere on the Cartesian plane, and then we'll be taking four more types of parabola, but they'll be almost similar to the kinds that we have already seen in the first video, and we'll also take some harder problems. So let's get started. First, let's start with one example that somewhat belongs to the previous video, so it's kind of a recapitulation of what we have already discussed. So as you know that a parabola is some curve that maintains a constant that maintains a distance from a point and from a line that is equal to each other. So suppose if I take any point on the parabola, then its distance from this point, which we call as the focus, remember it was of the form a comma 0 for some particular case. So its distance from the focus is equal to its distance from this line, which is known as directrix. All right. So this question is somewhat related to the previous video, but the thing here is that this parabola doesn't fall into any of the four categories. It is somewhere floating on the x or the y x. It is somewhere floating on the Cartesian plane. It can be like this or like this or like this, somewhere around on the Cartesian plane. Okay. So whatever it is, the definition of the parabola remains the same, that this distance remains equal to this distance. So all we need to do is just apply that principle over here. So let's assume that a point P, x comma y, is an arbitrary point on the parabola. So its distance from this point, which is given to be 0 comma minus 1, that means the focus, and the directrix is given to be x plus y minus 1 is equal to 0. So let's quickly find out these two distances and make them equal. So this point is 0 comma minus 1. So the distance is x minus 0 the whole squared plus y minus of minus 1 means y plus 1 the whole squared whole root. So this is the distance between these 2 points x comma y and 0 comma minus 1, and the distance between this line and this point is given by that formula you remember from the first video. It's 1 times x plus 1 times y minus 1 divided by root over 1 square plus 1 square. All right, so this is the distance between the point x comma y and the line x plus y minus 1 is equal to 0. So on simplification, we get root over x square plus y plus 1 the whole squared is equal to x plus y minus 1 divided by root over 2. If we square on both the sides and cross multiply, we get 2 times x square plus y square plus 2y plus 1 is equal to x plus y minus 1 the whole square. I have done a little bit of step jump in here. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. On simplification, I get 2x square plus 2y square plus 4y plus 2 is equal to, so now we apply the formula of a plus b plus c the whole squared, which is a square plus b squared plus c squared plus 2ab plus 2bc and plus 2ca. So because the c is minus 1 over here, so I adjust accordingly. Now on subtracting 2x square with x square, I get x square. So this is done. 2y square minus y square gives me y square. 4y plus 2y gives me plus 6y and minus 2xy and plus 2x, and finally 2 minus 1 is equal to plus 1 is equal to 0. So this is the equation of the parabola which is required. So if I match it with the answer, I've already written it down over here. So the answer is x square plus y square minus 2xy plus 2x plus 6y plus 1 is equal to 0. So it matches with the answer as well. Let's take up one more question. Find the equation of the parabola having its vertex at 2, 1. So remember, this point is known as the vertex. So instead of being at the origin, remember that in the previous video we discussed only those kinds of parabola which had their vertex at the origins. But in this video we are discussing some general parabolas that can have their vertex anywhere. So this vertex is 2, 1. Okay, so even though I have drawn it horizontally and vertically, you should think of this parabola as something like this. All right, so it's like somewhere floating in the Cartesian plane, but for simplicity I have drawn it to be like this. So it doesn't matter because I haven't drawn the x and the y axis, so it doesn't matter. So the vertex is 2, 1 and the focus is over here, which is 1, minus 1. And we need to find out the equation of the parabola. Now, this is a very interesting question, guys. Why? I'll tell you, because it requires a lot of concepts behind the parabola. So the very basic concepts are that, first of all, the vertex divides this point and this point equally, right? What is this point? This is the point where the directrix meets the axis. So remember that this line is called as the axis of the parabola, and this line is of course known as the directrix. This point and this point are, so this vertex lies in the middle of these 2 points. That means the point where directrix and axis meets and the focus. So the vertex lies exactly in the middle. So we can find out this point by using the midpoint theorem. So if I assume that this point is h comma k, then I know that h plus 1 divided by 2 is equal to 2. So using the midpoint theorem, I can write that h plus 1 divided by 2 is equal to 2, and also k minus 1 divided by 2 is equal to 1. This is what we get from the midpoint theorem. If you don't know what a midpoint theorem is, see my videos on coordinate geometry. So from here I get h is equal to 3 and k is equal to 2 plus 1, also 3. All right, so I've done a little bit of step jumps over here, but I hope you will be understanding this. So this point is 3, 3. Now we need to figure out the equation of the directrix. If we can figure out the equation of the directrix, then we can apply the same principle. We can take an arbitrary point on the parabola. We can take x, y, an arbitrary point. We have the focus. We will have the equation of the directrix, and by principles, making these two distances equal, this distance and this distance, we can find out the equation of the parabola. So all our task is just to find out the equation of the directrix. Let's try it out. So we know that this is the axis and the directrix is perpendicular to the axis. So let's first figure out the slope of this axis. So the slope of the axis is equal to y2 minus y1. So say for example, if we take these 2 points, you could have taken these 2 points as well. Doesn't matter, it will give you the same slopes in any case. So I'm just taking these 2 points. The slope of the axis is y2 minus y1. So 3 minus 1 divided by x2 minus x1. So the slope is 2 by 1 is equal to 2. So this is the slope of the axis. Therefore, the slope of the directrix is equal to minus 1 by 2. Remember that if two lines are perpendicular, then the product of their slopes is minus 1. So if I assume that the directrix has a slope of m, that means m into 2 is equal to minus 1. So the slope of the directrix is minus 1 by 2, because we know that the product of two lines that are perpendicular, the product of the slopes of two lines that are perpendicular is minus 1. So from there I get the slope of directrix to be minus half. Now I need to find out its equation. I can say that let the equation of the directrix be y is equal to mx plus c. I know the value of m, the slope of the directrix is minus half. So y is equal to minus half x plus c. And to figure out the value of c, I know that it passes through 3, 3. So I just plug in these values. So 3 is equal to minus 3 by 2 plus c implies c is equal to 3 plus 3 by 2, which is equal to 9 by 2. So this is the value of C. That means the equation of the directrix becomes y is equal to minus half x plus 9 by 2, which gives on simplification y 2y is equal to minus x plus 9, or x plus 2y minus 9 is equal to 0. So this is the slope, sorry, this is the equation of the directrix. Now I leave this to you as an exercise to find out the equation of the parabola. Take an arbitrary point x comma y on the parabola, find out this distance, find out this distance, make them equal, square both the sides, simplify, and figure out and match whether your answer is turning out to be this or not. All right. So this is the answer that you should be getting. Try it out on your own and let me know in the comment section below if you are able to do it or not. Let's take up one more question. It will be more or less similar, but again, there are different variants of the same question. So let's try this one out as well. Find the equation of the parabola whose coordinates of the vertex are minus 2, 3, and the equation of the directrix is 2x plus 3y plus 8 is equal to 0. So let's assume that our directrix is somewhere here and its equation is 2x plus 3y plus 8 is equal to 0. Assume that our parabola lies over here. This is the axis of the parabola. So this becomes the vertex, which is minus 2, 3. All right. And we need to find out the equation of the parabola. So now what we have to find out is just the focus. If I'm able to find out the focus, then I'm done, because again, I'll take a point, arbitrary point, I'll find out this distance, I'll find out this distance, equal them and square them, simplify them, and I'll be getting the answer. But it's just the reverse of the first problem, the previous problem, right? Where we were given the focus, but not the equation of the directrix. And here, just the opposite, we are given the directrix and we need to figure out the focus, and finally the equation of the parabola. So what to do and how to do? Okay, so we know that this is the directrix. So let's find out its slope. So the slope of the directrix will be found out using point slope form. So this is the equation of the directrix. Let me write it down in y is equal to mx plus c format. So 3y is equal to minus 2x minus 8. Y is equal to minus 2 by 3x minus 8. So the slope of the directrix is minus 2 by 3. So the slope of the axis is 3 by 2, right? Because the axis and the directrix are perpendicular to each other, so their product should be minus 1. So that means the slope of the axis is 3 by 2. So let's figure out what is the equation of this axis. So let us assume that the equation of the axis, so axis has the equation y is equal to mx, the m is the slope, plus c, and to figure out c, we know that it passes through minus 2, 3. So we plug in these values. So 3 is equal to 3 by 2 times minus 2 plus c. So 3 is equal to minus, okay, 2 and 2 cancels out. So minus 3 plus c implies c is equal to 6. So the equation of the axis becomes y is equal to 3 by 2x plus 6. And now what we need to do, we need to solve these two equations. This is the equation of the directrix, and this is the equation of the y is equal to 3 by 2x plus 6 is the equation of the axis. If we solve them together, we will be able to figure out this point. So let's quickly solve these two equations. Y is equal to 3 by 2x plus 6. So y is equal to 3 by 2x plus 6, and the second equation is this. So let me multiply on both the sides by 3. So I get 3y is equal to 9x by 2 plus 18, and from here I get 3y is equal to minus 8 minus 2x. So this becomes equal to minus 8 minus 2x, and then on simplification I get 9x by 2 plus 2x is equal to minus 8 minus 18. 2 2s are 4, 9 plus 4 is equal to 13x by 2 is equal to minus 26. 13 2s are 26. X is equal to minus 4, and plugging this value over here, I'll get y is equal to 3 by 2 times minus 4 plus 6 is equal to 2. So minus 6 plus 6 is 0. Oh, so the point becomes minus 4 comma 0. So we have figured out that the directrix and the axis meet at minus 4 comma 0. The vertex is given to be minus 2 comma 3, and we need to find out the focus. So if we assume that the focus is h comma k, then I know that vertex lies exactly in between this point and this point. So I apply the midpoint theorem again. So I get minus 4 plus h divided by 2 is equal to minus 2, and 0 plus k divided by 2 is equal to 3. On solving, I get the values of h and k. So h is equal to 0, h is equal to 0, and k is equal to 6. All right. So I get this focus to be 0 comma 6. And now I leave this to you as an exercise to find out the equation of the parabola. Now let's move ahead, guys, and again restrict ourselves in terms of the vertex. So what I mean to say is that in the first video, we took the vertex always to be at the origin. And then in the previous 3 questions in this video, we said that, okay, let's take any parabola floating somewhere in the Cartesian plane. But these 3 questions are very typical, and you will be getting nothing out of those 3 questions in the examination. I mean, the types, there will be no other type other than those 3 types for a parabola that is floating anywhere. In general, we always need to discuss about the parabolas which have a vertex defined somewhere. All right. So what I mean to say is that initially we have discussed all the parabolas with vertex at 0 comma 0, and now we will be discussing about all the parabolas that have their vertex at some point alpha comma beta, but all those parabolas will always be having their axis either parallel to the x-axis or parallel to the y-axis. I mean to say is that they will always be either right-handed or left-handed or upward or downward. These will be always the 4 kinds of parabola. But unlike the first video, where all of these were kind of like stuck to the origin, here we allow them to move in the Cartesian plane, but they will still be right-handed, left-handed, upward or downward. They can be anywhere, but they will be still of these 4 kinds only. We cannot have them to be tilted like this. So we cannot have a parabola like this or a parabola like this. Sorry. So we cannot have a parabola like this. All right. They will always be having their axis parallel to either x-axis or y-axis. All right. So what I mean to say is that their vertex is just shifted to some point alpha comma beta. Okay, now we need to figure out what their equations are. Remember that when we discussed about the chapter circle, then initially we started with the equation x square plus y square is equal to r square. We took this to be we found out that this was the equation of the circle, and then when we moved the center of the circle to some point alpha comma beta, then we got that the equation moved to x minus alpha whole square plus y minus beta whole square is equal to r square. So always remember, guys, whenever you shift the origin of some curve to somewhere else alpha comma beta, then all you need to do is replace x by x minus alpha and y by y minus beta. In almost all the cases, this will help you. So whenever you want to shift the origin of any curve by alpha comma beta, replace x by x minus alpha and replace y by y minus beta. So if I take the first equation, y square is equal to 4ax, this was the equation, remember, of a right-handed parabola. And now if how did this parabola look like? It looked something like this. Now I'm saying that, okay, instead of having its vertex stuck at the origin, let me move it to somewhere else. Let me have the vertex to be at some point alpha comma beta. That means I am increasing its increasing it horizontally by alpha units and vertically by beta units. All right. So I have my new vertex at alpha comma beta. It is still a right-handed parabola. Its axis is still parallel to the x-axis. Initially, it was actually the x-axis. Remember from the first video that the axis of the parabola over here was actually the x-axis. But now in this case, it is something that is parallel to the x-axis and not actually x-axis. Okay. So this was the equation of the right-handed parabola in our case. And now if I want to shift its vertex to alpha comma beta, I need to replace y by y minus beta, remember, and x by x minus alpha. So this will give me my new equation of the right-handed parabola with its vertex at alpha comma beta. This is this simple, guys. All you need to do with your first video, you need to correlate and just replace x by x minus alpha, y by y minus beta, because all the points are shifting horizontally by alpha units and vertically by beta units. So this is all you need to do. All right. So if you observe, the right-handed parabola with vertex at alpha comma beta is already what we have discussed. The left-handed parabola is similar. Initially, it was y square is equal to minus 4ax. So if you replace y by y minus beta and x by x minus alpha, you get this thing. For the upward parabola, remember that the equation was x square is equal to 4ay. Again, replace x by x minus alpha, y by y minus beta, and same thing for the downward parabola. And these are some features of these four parabolas which we have just now discussed. That means the parabolas with vertex at alpha comma beta. Okay, now you don't need to mug up anything in this table, guys. What I'm saying, please listen to it very carefully, and there is nothing new in this except that we are just horizontally increasing every point by alpha units and vertically by beta units. So let me give a chance to explain this thing to you. So you remember that initially for our first video, right-handed parabolas looked like y square is equal to 4ax. Let me write it down over here. Y square is equal to 4ax, and their focus was at a comma 0. So this is what our parabolas initially looked like, with their focus at a comma 0. Now what I'm saying is that we need to shift its vertex to some point alpha comma beta. So all you need to do is just increase the horizontal units by a units, horizontal distance by a units, and vertical distance by b units. So our new focus will become a plus alpha comma beta. All you need to do is just increase this part by a and this part by alpha, this part increase this part by alpha and this part by beta. So our new focus becomes a plus alpha comma beta. The length of the latus rectum doesn't change because, guys, it's ultimately a length. So it doesn't matter whether my parabola is over here or over here, the length of the latus rectum remains unchanged. All right. The equation of the directrix, guys. So if you look carefully, initially my directrix looked like this. It was somewhere over here. Now I move this parabola to here. So my directrix also moves some part to the right. It shifts to the right. So its horizontal distance changes by a units. But if I just shift this line vertically up, it won't make any sense, guys, because a line is infinite, right? So it doesn't matter how much I try to shift it to the upward direction. It's ultimately a line stretched to infinite direction. So it won't make any changes. This shift of the line vertically won't make any difference. All right. So what I mean to say is that we just need to add up alpha over here and beta won't add anything. So suppose this is a line, x is equal to minus a. If I move this line by alpha units, it will become x is equal to minus a plus alpha. Shifting it vertically won't change because it's ultimately a line. So if you move it from here to here, it won't change the line. All right. Now left-handed parabola, we know that our equation was y square is equal to minus 4ax. So the focus originally was minus a comma 0, and all you need to do is just add alpha to it and beta to it. So minus a plus alpha, 0 plus beta gives us the new focus. All right. The length of the latus rectum always remains the same. So I'm not going to tell you this thing over and over again. And the equation of the directrix for this initial parabola was x is equal to a, and now you need to increase this by alpha units, so that's done. And if you consider the upward parabola, the focus was 0 comma a, so increase this by alpha, this by beta, so it becomes alpha comma a plus beta. And the directrix initially was y is equal to minus a, so the directrix was horizontal, remember. So in this case, adding alpha won't change it, but if you shift it vertically, move it from here to here, it will be y is equal to minus a plus beta. So if this was initially y is equal to minus a, this will become y is equal to minus a plus beta. And similarly for the downward parabola, guys, have a look at this chart and try to explain yourself and convince yourself how these things are coming. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section, or you can straight away mail it to me at a_level_math@yahoo.com. Let's take up some question, guys, based on this thing. We need to find out the axis, vertex, focus, latus rectum, and the equation of directrix for this parabola. So let me quickly write down the parabola. Y square plus 4x plus 2y minus 11 is equal to 0. Always remember, guys, that for parabola, you will always notice one thing that I already mentioned this thing in the previous video, that you will see either x or y having a square and the other thing will be linear. So you can have a square on x and y linear, or a square on y and x linear. So this will help you determine what type of parabola it is. Remember from the first video. So here I see y to have a square and x linear. My task now is to form a complete square for y. So what I do, I'll take just y's together and throw x on the other side. Okay, so y square plus 2y is equal to minus 4x plus 11. All right, now my task is to complete a square, because I essentially want this thing to come in this form, y minus beta whole square. I want this entire equation to come in the form y minus beta whole square is equal to 4 into a into x minus alpha. I want this equation to be converted into this form, and that is why I am doing all these things. All right, so if I want to complete the square, I need an extra 4 over here. So let me add it. So y square plus 2y plus 4. So I need to add it to both the sides of the equation. So I'll add plus 4 over here as well. So y plus 2 the whole squared is equal to minus 4x plus 15. So I've got the left hand side to be in the form y minus beta whole square, where my beta is actually equal to minus 2. All right, so if I write it like this, y minus minus 2 the whole squared. So if you see, this becomes my beta becomes minus 2, and then I need to write it in the form 4a into x minus alpha, or maybe minus 4a, because both of these are standard forms, either with a plus or a minus sign. So I'll take 4 common over here. So x minus 15 by 4. So if you see, I have reduced this equation into this format, where my beta is minus 2, alpha is equal to 15 by 4. All right, guys. So let me write it down. Alpha is equal to 15 by 4 and beta is equal to 2, minus 2, sorry. So my vertex becomes alpha comma beta, 15 by 4 comma minus 2. This is my vertex. And most importantly, guys, you need to figure out what type of parabola it is. So for type, I mean whether it's right-handed, left-handed, downward or upward. So if you see that there is a square on the y, so either it's right-handed or left-handed, and we see a minus over here, that means it is a left-handed parabola. So for a left-handed parabola, I know that my focus lies on minus a comma 0 in general. But now what I need to do, I need to add alpha over here and beta over here. What is the value of a? A is 1 over here, because there is nothing in place of a. It's just minus 4 times x minus alpha. So a is equal to 1 over here. Alpha and beta are already known. So just plug in the values for left-handed parabola for finding out the focus, directrix, and you'll be getting all the answers, guys. And remember, don't mug up those formulas. Always try to derive them using these principles, that okay, I know it's generally minus a comma 0, so I need to add alpha and beta. So always proceed in this way and never try to mug up the chart that I have provided, right? Let's take up one more question. Find the equation of the parabola passing through the points this and this, and having its axis parallel to the y-axis. So why this information is given, guys, is that they are saying that okay, if we have x and y axis, then we need to find out the equation of the parabola whose axis is parallel to the y-axis. So if this is my axis of the parabola, then this means that either my parabola is upward or downward. So this is the sole motive of this line, guys, that the axis of the parabola is parallel to the y-axis. So this line tells you that okay, either my parabola is upward or downward. Now we need to figure out what exactly it is, but believe me, there is no point, there is no way you can find it out directly. So all we know is that whatever is the case, either upward or downward, my parabola is of the form y minus beta whole square is equal to 4 times some constant. Generally it is a, but the problem is I don't know whether it's plus or minus. Okay, so let me write down plus or minus 4a times x minus alpha. So whether it is an upward parabola or downward parabola, one thing I know for sure is that I have a square on the y term, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is an upward or a downward parabola. This means my square will be on x and plus minus 4a y minus beta, because my axis is parallel to the y-axis. So either my parabola is upward or downward. In both the cases, I have a square on x and y is linear. All right. So whatever is the case, this is the takeaway from that y will be linear and x will be quadratic. So I can write down my equation of the parabola in this way. I can still write it down, because if you expand that, x minus alpha whole square is equal to plus minus 4a times y minus beta. So if you try to expand this, you'll figure out that you will be having some x square term, then some x term, and then some constant term. And here you will be having some y term and some constant term. You can absorb these two constant terms into a single constant. So effectively you will be having x square, x, some constant which are absorbed together, and a y. This is what we have exactly written, a y, an x square term, an x term, and some constant. So in any of these cases, I will be getting an equation of this format. So this is why I assume that okay, my parabola has the equation y is equal to, sorry, what's happening? Okay, pen. So I assume that my parabola is y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. I assume that this is the equation of my parabola. So, okay, now I hope that you get this point. And now what we need to do, I just need to put in these 3 points and find out the values of a, b, and c. All right. So if I plug in 3 comma 0, in place of x I plug in 3, and in place of y 0, I get 0 is equal to 9a plus 3b plus c. So this is my first equation. If I further simplify, I mean, if I take the second point and find out the relationship, I'll be getting one more relationship in terms of a, b, and c. And again, if I plug in the value of 2 comma 5, I mean this point, if I plug in this equation, I'll be getting one more equation. I need to simplify all those 3 and find out the values of a, b, and c. And then once I've got the values of a, b, and c, I just need to put them, plug in over here, and I'm done. I've got the equation of the parabola. All right. So next question, find the point on the parabola y square is equal to 12x at which the ordinate is double the abscissa. So guys, what we are told is that there is a parabola y square is equal to 12x. So I assume that okay, this is my parabola. and we need to find out a point on this parabola such that the ordinate is double the abscissa. So let me tell you what ordinate and abscissa means. So if I take any point alpha comma beta, this alpha is known as the abscissa and beta is known as the ordinate. So this is the meaning of abscissa and ordinate. Now we are given that we have to find out such a point on the parabola such that the ordinate is double the abscissa. So if I take my abscissa to be alpha, then my ordinate becomes 2 alpha. That means the double of the abscissa. So let's assume that this is the point on the parabola. Now this point lies on the parabola. So I just plug them in. So I get 2 alpha, the whole squared is equal to 12 times alpha. So I get 4 alpha square is equal to 12 alpha. So I get 4, 3. So I get alpha square is equal to 3 alpha. So if I take alpha common, so alpha square minus 3 alpha is equal to 0. Alpha common, alpha minus 3 is equal to 0. Either alpha is equal to 0 or alpha is equal to 3. All right. So if I take alpha to be 0, then I get my 2 alpha to be 0. And if I take alpha is equal to 3, I get 2 alpha is equal to 6. So there are 2 points, guys. One is 0, 0 and the other is 3, 6. So these are the two answers where these are the 2 points where the ordinate is double the abscissa. So 0 is the double of 0 and 6 is the double of 3. So these are the 2 points and hence our answer. All right. One more question. The parabola y square is equal to 2ax passes through the center of the circle 4x square plus 4y square minus 8x plus 12y minus 7 is equal to 0. So we are given that this is a parabola and it passes through the center of this circle. So let's quickly figure out the center of this circle using our logics that we have already covered in chapter circles. So if you haven't seen the video on circles, I have a series on circles. Please go and watch that on YouTube. So let's first of all write this equation in standard form, and that means we need to divide every term by 4 because remember we need to keep x square and y square free. So I divide each and every term by 4. So I get x square plus y square minus 2x plus 3y minus 7 by 4 is equal to 0. And now the center is minus g comma minus f, which will be derived from here. And if you remember the logic, divide by 2 and change the sign. So 1 comma divided by 2 and change the sign. So minus 3 by 2. So this is the center of the circle. Now we are given that our parabola passes through this center. That means this point satisfies this equation. So on plugging in this point in this equation, I'll be getting the value of a. So I'll do it later, but first of all, tell me what if is this equation in standard form? No, I know that it's not. So first of all, let's get it converted into standard form. Y square is equal to 2ax, y square is equal to 4 times 2a by 4 times x, or y square is equal to 4 times a by 2 times x. So this is my standard form and therefore this behaves like a. So my focus becomes a comma 0, that means a by 2 comma 0, because instead of a I have a by 2. So the focus is this. The length of the latus rectum is 4a units, 4 times a, instead of a I have a by 2. So this is the length of the latus rectum. This is my focus. And the equation of the directrix is, remember, x is equal to minus a. So x is equal to minus a by 2. This is the equation of the directrix. Now all I need to do is just find out the value of a and plug the values of a over in these 3 things and get the answers: the value of the focus, the length of the latus rectum, and the directrix. All right. So I leave this to you as an exercise. Just plug in this point in this equation, find out the value of a, plug in the values of a or in these 3 things and find out the answer. Thanks a lot, guys. This is all for this video. In the next video, we'll be covering the parametric form of the equation of a parabola and take up some questions in that. So I hope you're enjoying. Thanks a lot. Study hard, study smart with A level math. Bye bye.